Okay, now we're looking at the tax part, the key personnel tax and compliance part. We've looked at the information. What key information do you need to have on file or have it ready? Make sure that it's maintained so that when you go out into the market looking for opportunities, you have them ready. This is still on the administrative section. Then the compliance part is when you go in. First, key personnel must have their tax clearance. That's very, very important. The date of the tax clearance must still be valid. It must be verified. It must be on file. You must have 6 months bank statement. You must have 6 months bank statement of the key partners. I know sometimes it sounds a little bit unfair, but most of small businesses are still reliant on their key partners. If a market access or the person that or the institution that's giving you an opportunity is looking at your business bank statement, they also look at your key personnel's bank statement to make sure that these people are above board. There's no funny things. They're not overspending or they are not too much in debt, because small businesses are, as I said now, that they're over reliant on the key partner. So you find that this other person is a high roller or whatever, a high flyer. Then they're spending a lot of money from their personal bank. Then that can affect the business. So as the going say, in the SMME space, you are funding the jockey than the horse, because the jockey is the one who's going to make the horse win. If a jockey doesn't have their financial affairs in order, then that affects the horse. They say a good entrepreneurs take a bad business and make it a success. But the opposite is also true, to say a bad entrepreneur can take a good business and make it fail. So that's why also the industry also put microscope on the personal affairs of the key personnel, the key shareholders, the key directors. So we must have the bank statement of the key directors. Make sure they're not too old, they are verified, they are on file. And then they also need the monthly income statement. We also have under resources, we have the sample of your monthly income statement, how it's supposed to look like. So basically, monthly income statement, it shows the income and the expenditure, or average income and expenditure of the key personnel, the shareholders and the directors. But this applies to SMMEs because they are reliant on the key personnel, as the explanation that I gave just now, to say the directors and shareholders are very critical for them. That's why you want to see their monthly income, monthly expenditure, to see if they're not gonna take a lot of money out of the business, which can suffocate the business and make them not be able to service the market. I'm giving you the SME an opportunity, but I just want to make sure that all is above board. The key shareholders or key directors are all on board. I've seen their bank statement, I've seen their income statement, and the next one is their personal balance sheet. And the personal balance sheet, you just want to see if they have assets. And sometimes when you give them access to market, you might want them to sign a personal surety to say, I'm giving you this opportunity, but if you mess it up, come after you personally. So I want you to sign the personal surety. So you also they will want to see your bank statement, but now as well as your balance sheet. So showing your assets and liability. You must make sure that you are not over indebted. If you want to set up a business, you must not be over indebted, because the market will also want to see that you are not over indebted. If we give you the opportunity, you will not mess up the money or the opportunity that you've been given. As well as the credit checks, need to make sure that you're not on, the key personnel are not on credit bureau or they're not listed. Yes, you can still be listed. It happens. It's a business environment. Sometimes a deal goes wrong, then you can't service your debt. But you must have arrangements with your creditors if possible. Then as well, make sure that you do your credit checks. I think we have a right to one credit report per annum. So annually, make sure that you do that credit check to see your credit score is healthy. Then once you have that, then you must keep it in file, just to make sure that when you're going out there, looking for business, you know that your house is in order. All the thing. If not, but you know the reasons, you know the arrangements that are there, if there are any such arrangements. So that you not go out, start looking for business or looking to access the market, and then once they start conducting their due diligence, then they find some hoaxes in your key personnel or in the company. So this is to maintain the file, clean file, the administrative file of key personnel, to make sure that you know what's going on. You're running an open, transparent organization so that you don't find yourself exposed when you're trying to get access to certain things, to certain markets or certain opportunities. And the other one is you need to know if you are a politically exposed person. So a politically exposed person is if one of the key shareholders or directors has got political relationships or is in political office. That creates an exposure. Remember, with recently with the state capture, there are many directors and politicians that have been named or implicated in the state capture. That created political exposure. So certain institutions out there, they might not want to expose themselves to that political exposure. If you know you are politically exposed, prepare a write-up on summarizing what happened and why it's not a risk. And the last one is the media exposure. If you've been exposed in the media for negative things, make sure that you prepare, a statement of some kind or all that, because this organization do the media checks. They'll find that you have a bad media background and you didn't disclose. Then that becomes a challenge. Now, similar to others, you just click on edit and you answer the questions accordingly. Text clearance, yes. Is it attached? Have you seen it? Bank statement, 6 months. All those things you just complete, and then you comment on if you are credit you are listed, you give brief comments on the reason. Political exposure, you give brief reasons, but you need to answer those questions truthfully to say it's attached, the political exposure, explaining that exposure. And then if negative media exposure, if yes, is it attached those media articles, and you give a little bit of explanation and you confirm. So once you confirm,